Hello, everyone. My name is Lana Schreifels, and this is my story. There was a time in my life when everything felt simple. For me, that kind of simplicity came as a young child, merely 6 years old. There were small moments, sitting outside on the porch, watching the sky turn gold as the sun set over the fields. The light stretching across the land, painting everything in warm auburn tones. The world felt softer, quieter. The air would cool just enough to bring relief from the heat of the day, carrying the scent of dry grass and earth. I'd sit there, listening to the quiet hum of the crickets, their rhythmic chirping blending with the rustling leaves. Every now and then, a soft breeze would brush by up against my skin, making me pull my jacket just a little bit closer. In those moments, time felt slower. The world, so full of movement and noise during the day, seemed to settle down into a peaceful rhythm. And for a moment, I felt like the world was standing still. In that stillness, there was a sense of safety, a kind of reassurance that life had a pattern, a rhythm I could count on. The sun would always set, the wind would always whisper through the fields, and the crickets would always sing. No matter what happened, no matter how chaotic life felt, those moments remained the same. They were small, fleeting even, but they were what grounded me. But as we all know, life doesn't like to stay so simple. It shifts, sometimes suddenly, sometimes so gradually that you don't even realize until you look back and you see you're somewhere completely different. For me, that shift came in many forms throughout my years. But one moment stood out to me. It was July 12th in Colorado Springs. My dad took me to visit one of the homes he was building. The evening sun lit up the lot as we approached the site, as he pointed out to the house that was just framed, the walls rising from the ground, as he showed me the work that just had been done. I remember the rush of excitement I felt that day, seeing all those raw materials come together and create something real. Looking back, I realized my passion for structure, whether it was in people, ideas, or projects, it has always been a core part of who I am. I love creating systems for others, whether it was helping my twin brother Jaden with a tricky math problem or my little brother Tristan learn how to read. Homeschooling gave me countless opportunities to nurture this love of mine. But it wasn't about just solving another problem. It was about fostering progress and seeing the transformation and knowing I played a role in it. My childhood was shaped by two distinct homes, a cozy little blue house and an isolated home surrounded by those open fields. At first, homeschooling gave me the freedom I needed to learn at my own pace in my younger years, but as I got older, obstacles arose, and without the guidance I needed, I struggled to find the rhythm that once came so naturally. Every day, I'd sit down at my desk, textbooks open, computer screen glowing, telling myself that this time I'll get through it. And I felt this motivation, a kind of hope that today would be different. But within moments, that energy would fade, replaced by frustration. The math problem I couldn't solve, the history lesson I didn't understand, and the endless list of assignments that had no real starting point. I felt trapped in a cycle, staring at those pages, searching for a way out, And the worst part of it, I started to believe that I was the problem, that I was just lazy, that I wasn't disciplined enough, or that I just wasn't smart enough. And for years, I'd bury these thoughts, convincing myself that everything was fine. But deep down, I knew the truth. I was falling behind in school, and no matter how hard I tried to push these feelings away, the anxiety about my future, it never disappeared. For me, change didn't happen suddenly. It wasn't a single moment of clarity, but a slow realization. And over time, I found the courage to stop running away from this problematic way of life and to start facing it head on, one step at a time. Little by little, those moments of effort added up. And I realized something. If I wanted change to happen, I couldn't wait for someone else to fix it. I had to be the one to take that first step forward. One night, after another day of feeling stuck, I looked in the mirror and thought to myself, is this really the life I want? The answer was immediate no. I didn't want to keep feeling this helpless, and I didn't want to be trapped in this same cycle, lost in this pattern that lacked the structure and stability that I craved. And slowly, something changed. I realized I had more power than I thought, and I had the control I needed. But most importantly, I had the courage to take the first step forward. That shift in mindset is what drove me, or what gave me the direction I needed, and it eventually led me to Acton. There, I discovered something I had been missing, the structures and tools I needed to thrive. I now had the chance I needed from the guides and mentors in my life to guide me. I still remember the first day of my apprenticeship with Conduit. We were sitting at a small table at Shady Coffee. I opened my laptop, unsure of what to expect. My task? Develop a fictional movie. Sure, it sounded simple, until I realized I had to organize the entire process from scratch. At first, it felt overwhelming. Where should I start? How do I turn all these scattered ideas into a structured plan? But as I broke it down, setting deadlines, assigning roles, and mapping each phase out, I felt a shift. It wasn't just about creating another project anymore, it was about building a system. I found myself thriving in this challenge and turning this chaos into order, ensuring every piece fit together. By the end of the day, it hit me. This process of taking an idea and structuring it and turning it into something real is what I loved, although I didn't realize it at the time. But that's when I knew project management is what I want to do. The excitement I felt that day wasn't just about completing another project. It was about seeing how the structure and leadership could form an idea into something I could see and touch. That's why my next step is to become a project real estate coordinator, a role where I can apply my passion for organization, leadership, and team building. In this position, I'll create a space where people not only succeed, but are inspired to reach their full potential. To make that happen, I need hands-on experience. That's why I'm asking for your help in securing a one-paid internship. This will give me the real-world experience I need to manage budgets, timelines, and teams, the skills necessary to thrive in this field. I'm also committed to furthering my education. To strengthen my foundation, I am pursuing a project management certification. To make that possible, I am asking for $300 to go towards the certification, ensuring that I have the technical knowledge and training to excel in project management. But this isn't just about my own future anymore. I've seen firsthand how strong leadership and clear systems can change everything. Whether it was my father's construction projects, my apprenticeship, or the lessons I've learned here at Acton, one thing became clear to me. When people have the right structure, they thrive. They move forward with confidence, knowing that every detail is accounted for. That's the kind of impact I will make, not just on projects, but on the people who are a part of them. In return, I promise to complete my certification within 3 months of graduating and to obtain my internship or entry-level job after 6 months of graduation, and to pay it forward by mentoring someone new to the industry within the next 2 years, showing them the lessons I've learned along the way. These commitments aren't just words, but they're a reflection of the journey that brought me here. I remember visiting my dad not long ago, walking through a nearly finished house. Back then, I would have only saw an empty house, but now I see a project near completion that was the result of planning, organization, and real effort. This well-managed project didn't just create a home, it created opportunities, stability, and something lasting. That's the kind of impact I will make. Not just on finishing projects, but ensuring they're done with purpose. Whether it's organizing teams, helping newcomers, or refining processes, I want to contribute something greater than myself. Because success isn't just about ambition, it's about action. And as I stood in that quiet, nearly completed house, I knew this was just the beginning. The foundation was set, and now it was time to build. Thank you.